Welcome to Soccer Gaming, and in this episode we are going to go over the fastest way of getting your Arcana to the max level of 200 after the patch of 1.1.1. The reason I'm throwing this out here, and I've already done another video on this before, but it has changed a lot since that patch. They made it a little more difficult. The Arcana XPs have changed and everything, so I wanted to go back over it because I know a lot of people are like, well, that's not how you do it anymore. So I wanted to go back over it and teach you guys how to do it since the patch. So if you'd like to watch that, stick around. So first of all, the reason that you would want to get your Arcana up is if you want to use some sort of Arcana weapon. In my case, it's the Life Staff. I love the Life Staff. It's what I use. But if you want a Fire Staff, an Ice Gauntlet, Void Gauntlet, this magic category here, if you want to run any of these here, then you're going to want to get your trade skill of Arcana up to a level of a 200, because that is going to allow you to craft the best of the best when it comes to weapons. So if you're wondering where the Arcana is, this is where you're located. This is what you're going to find in the city, depending on which city you're in. You're looking for this little triangle A looking thing. I'm going to say the Arcane repository. And when you find this, you're going to, when you're starting out, you can do it with like a level 2, level 1, whatever. But as you're crafting through this, you're going to notice that you're going to need a higher level tier. And so my suggestion is if you could find a level 5 tier, then I would craft stuff there, just because chances are that place is going to stay a level 5 or at least a level 4. And you should be able to craft there basically throughout getting you up to a level 200. So as we jump in here, we're going to just kind of look at what you can get. Again, the weapons, which is kind of the reason you're making this. You're going to unlock as you go, and you're going to see just a bunch of better weapons here. You're going to see higher and higher gear score here as you go. And then there's obviously the Life Staff, the Fire Staff, the Ice Gauntlets, and the Void Gauntlets there as well. So these are some pretty good weapons here that you can make, and so that's why we're trying to get to a level 200. But I'm going to go over and show you kind of what I have done, what I found to be the best, quickest way. As you can tell, I got to level 200. I did it this way, and as far as like getting materials and stuff like this, I feel like this is the fastest way. I know a bunch of people that like to make a bunch of these iron fire staffs, and you could do that, but I also feel like, what are you going to do? You're scrapping them, or I mean, you're not selling them. I mean, I don't think there's going to be a lot of people selling them, and so you're only getting like 276 Arcana here. You're just not, to me, you're not getting what it's worth, because you have to use 5 iron ingots, which means you got to go find iron, and it's just so difficult to me to tell you to do it this way. So what I want to do is show you the fastest way, and we're going to basically do it with the concoctions and the potions, and pretty much that's basically it. I mean, we're going to switch in some stuff like these elemental wisps and stuff you're going to do kind of along the way as well. Basically, the main thing is using the concoction section and using it as you go up. From level 0 to level 50, the best thing you could either do is the weak alchemist or the common. Obviously, you get it at 0 or level 0 and level 1. You're going to take this, you're going to get high sop, you're going to get water, you're going to make these, you're going to get a little XP for them as well, and then you're going to come down and make the potions that go into it. So then again, you got to get whatever potion you need, whether it's medical or magical or whatever. You have to come down here and make these. However, the reason I'm going to tell you to do this is, one, you're going to be using health potions as you progress through the game. You're also going to be using mana potions. Chances are, if you're trying to get this to a level 200, you're using a weapon that uses mana. So again, you're going to want to use these mana potions. As a Life Staff person, I use the mana almost as much as I use the health, if not more. So I basically try to make them 50-50. When I build them, I try to make them 50-50. And also, these are ways to do quests. As you can see here, I have a mission item for common health potions and a mission item for the common health mana. So my suggestion is to go through here and knock these out as fast as possible. So if we're breaking this down, I'm telling you to do this and go through here. But if we have to go with the fastest way possible, it's going to be the common blight tincture. And it's going to be hard for me to tell you to make these all the time. just because you kind of have to use a lot of stuff. You have to make 371 of these at 36 XP, which is why I'm telling you this is the fastest way of doing it as far as getting the most XP. And you're going to need to make 371 of these, meaning you're going to need 371 tier 2 protectives. It could be any of these. The twist caps are easy to find, but harder to find early on. They're easy to find like in game. And then the petal caps you could pretty much find anywhere. There's a couple of really good spots for petal caps, but you're gonna need a level 2, and then you're gonna need air regions, which you can use either the air moat, which will probably be the easiest one you'll get, just because the moats you find in like groups of like 8 and 10. So easier to level up these, or you can get it from shock bulb stems or sun creeper, any of these in here as well. So what you get those, you're going to make 371 of them at 36 XP a piece, and you're going to need 371 water, 371 petal caps or tier 2, and 371 shock bulb stems or air regens, and that's going to get you up to level 50. So to reach level 50, you're going to need about 13,356 XP to get there. And so as I said, I would suggest doing the week in common health potions. And again, the reason why is these are easy to find and easy to make. Now, I'm going to break it down as far as Arcana goes. For just the health potions and the mana potion, I'm not going to add in the extra with these, because these are just going to completely change what you do. So you're going to get an extra 20 per every time you need a health potion made. So it's going to make the calculations a little different, just because you have to make those in order to make the other ones. So I'm just saying, if you go with the common health potion or the common mana potion at 24 Arcana a piece, you're going to need to make about 557 of these to go to level 50. But again, that's only 557 bull rush cobs, and then 557 common alkist, which again is water and high sop. At the end of this, I'll show you kind of my best places of getting high sop. You can either get it by doing it yourself, running out and getting high sop. To get the high sop, you can either go out and find the best places to get them. One of the best places I use is Windsward. Up in this general region, you're going to get a ton of high sop. There's some other places as well to get high sop, but that's where I like to go to get mine. If you don't want to go out, you want to just buy it off of the marketplace, you can do that as well. And I feel like, just depending on the day, depending on how many people are on your server, will kind of depend on how expensive the high sop is. So currently right now it's about 30 cents. When I did it, I put in a buy order of mine, and I went through and basically bought all of it through buy orders, and I think I ended up spending like maybe 8 cents on all of them, and I got like 10,000 of them for like at 8 cents a piece. So yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of money up front, but again, that's 10,000 high sop. That's gonna save you the time going out and picking it, because honestly, it does take a while to pick the herbs and the high sop. It does take a while to get that much. So if you need the extra help, feel free. I did it. I went into the market and bought some of it. And then you're gonna need the water as well. You're gonna load up the alkist, and then you're going to use those for the potions. So to get to the next level of 50 to 100, we're going to be upgrading a little bit here, and we're going to start using the strong things. If you want to do it a quick and fast way, again, if you want to do it with the common blight tincture, which they suggest is the best bang for your buck, meaning that you get the most XP out of how many regions you're putting into this. However, they don't take into consideration that some things are easier to get than others. So bull rush cob you can find pretty much anywhere around streams and around water. You just run around the side and you'll see it, and you'll get bull rush cobs just from running around. You can get, honestly, you can get about 1,000 bull rush cobs in probably, I would say, about 30 minutes of time, maybe 45 minutes of time, depending on where you're running. And again, this is a great place to do it, is outside of Windsward, up in this general direction. This is where I get my high sop and bull rush all up in here where the river is, all the way around, even on the other side, and then over on this river as well. So you could get a lot of bulrush cob and a lot of herbs, which is hyssop, for this build. So if we're doing the common blight tincture, again, the reason they tell you to do this is because you don't need to make the alkys to begin with. This is just a tier 2 and an air regent, and so that's why they're saying to do this, is because this is the easiest way as far as using regents. You're using basically one tier 2 thing and an air regent, which, as you know, if you can find the right places with the shock bob stems and everything, this can be gotten pretty easy. You can get a ton of air regents really quickly, and then you get the twist caps or the petal caps or any of these things, which these are kind of just spread out. The river crest stems as well you could put in there, so like you don't have to like go out and get these. You could kind of just find them as you go. However, if you want to go from level 50 to a level 100 with using the common blight tincture, which again is the quote-unquote fastest way to do it, you're going to need to make 4,025 of them, equaling 144,900 XP. So it is getting more expensive as we go. It'll get even more and more expensive. We'll get up to level 150 later, and you'll see how expensive it is. But if you want to make these 4,025 common blight tinctures, you're going to need 4,025 water, 4,025 tier 2 protective regent, which could be like petal cap or twist cap, any of that things. Then you're going to need 4,025 shock bob stems or air regents. So if we go down to the strong, yeah, again, it's going to cost you more hyssop in order to build these for the strong alkys, but if you could do that, this will pay off pretty well. So as you can see, we are using the, earlier you were saying we were using basically 1-1. Well, now we're using 1-1 again, but we got to again use the strong alkys. So to do that, it's hyssop and water, and then in here you're going to need bulrush cobs or medical regents here. So anything that's medical you can use here. A lot of this stuff is pretty easy to find, like the glowing mushroom caps. I know you find at the very beginning. Life bloom stems you can find pretty much anywhere, and then the bulrush, as I said earlier, is pretty easy to find. You kind of just have to run around rivers and lakes and find them. And then earth regents, you can use your petal caps here if you'd want to. You can also use earth motes, which again are pretty easy to find throughout the process. If we want to break this down at 126 arcana per, we're going to need to make 1,150 strong health potions. That's just the arcana here, that does not count. If you want to do it, it's going to cost you 1,000, and honestly that's not really that bad, because chances are you're gonna not use all 1,000 of it. If I would build 1,000 of these, I would probably sell 500 of them or 600 of them. You can use them because I know it's another thing for missions, so people will need to buy them. So you can sell them if you don't use them. Otherwise, run around and use them. You could either do the health potion or again the strong mana potion, which uses the same strong alkys, a magical regent that you can see here, and then air regents there. So again, using different things, but basically the same outcome. All right, so now we are at level 100. We're ready to go up to level 150, and this is where it starts getting pretty crazy, because this is where the numbers get very, very large very, very quickly, and I will show you that here in a second. This is where they kind of change into what I like to do as far as the quote-unquote best, as far as the most efficient way, and this is going to basically cost us 1,000,000 XP. Basically comes out to 959,616 XP in order to get from level 100 to level 150. But in order to do that, we're going to start making these powerful health potions, which are going to be honest with you, I used all the way up until level 60. I use these powerful and the power mana and the power health, and they work perfectly fine. We did good enough job. It got the job done. So again, you're going to need the powerful made here. Again, at level 100, you can make this. It's going to cost you 8 hyssop a piece, 1 water to make the powerful alkys. You also get 108 arcana. And then we are going to do the powerful health potions and the powerful mana potions. And again, this is starting to bring more into it. The powerful alkys, again, you got to build that with the hyssop and water. Then the medical regent as well, bulrush cobs, again, pretty easy to get. Earth regents, I always went with the earth motes, and then spirit regents. I always went with the soul motes there. So basically what I did is I saved up these, and these again you could get pretty quickly. You get like 9 or 10 or 8 or 7 at a time, and so you could get these pretty easy. Bull Rush Cob again, spend 30 minutes to an hour just running a river and a lake, and you'll get Bull Rush Cob pretty easy. And then boom, 588 Arcana just for one of these made. And so if we break this down, we need to make 1,632 powerful health potions. Broken that down, you need about 13,056 Hyssop, 1,632 water, and you're going to need the 1632 medical regions, which are any of these. You're going to need the 1632 earth regions, which again I use the earth motes, and then 1632 soul motes or soul regions or spirit regions. Sorry, that will get you from level 100 to level 150. Now that we are at level 150, it's going to get, again, even a little crazier. And this is actually, I found this be really quick, mostly because I knew what I was doing at this point. Once I hit 150, I knew what I needed to do to get to this 200. And so it just became a lot easier for me to do it, just because I knew exactly what I needed to do to get there, because it's the exact same thing as the powerful health potions, except we're going to do the infused, and it's basically the same thing. It's just a little more Hyssop because you're only using one medical regent, you're only using one earth and one spirit. Mana, you're using magical, air, and spirit there as well. But the thing that got more expensive was the infused alkist is now 10 Hyssop and 1 Azoth water. Now Azoth water is a little expensive. It depends on how much it costs on your server. It is expensive. There are places you can get it. I know I like to get mine in Greek water. You could like pretty much just run around and get Azoth water wherever the map tells you to get it. I know there's some here. This is where I get a bunch of mine. I also know that down here there's a pool. There's a couple pools down here, and then I also know up in here, I think it's up in here, there's a bunch of it as well. So I get pretty much mine all from Reek water, but there are other places you can get it. I know that there's a couple places in Restless Shore, a couple places in Weaver's Fin. Yeah, in Restless Shore, up in this area, I think there's a couple. So you can pretty much get it anywhere. It's just something that you might not be able to get quickly because we're going to have to make a ton of these. So I would suggest looking at the shop and knowing, okay, I need a bunch of these. And what I did again, and I'll show you proof of this, is I did a buy order for Azoth water, and I bought 1,000 Azoth water at 1 coin. Again, it's going to depend on how much it costs on your server, but by putting in a buy order, you let people fill that order while you're just waiting. Sometimes it doesn't get filled, as you can see here, like wirewood, trees, and lumber down here never got filled completely, but you allow the chance of basically getting it for a amount that you feel comfortable paying, because then you could turn around here and say, if we wanted to sell the Azoth water back, if I would have bought it just off of the normal thing, it's almost 2 coins a piece to just buy it. So basically I saved a coin, and then basically I saved half the amount of money by putting in a buy order of Azoth water instead of coming here and trying to buy it all. So you're gonna save coin by doing that. That would be my suggestion. And again, it's gonna take you a while to get Azoth water, because Azoth water it's pretty difficult to get. There's not that many Azoth water places to go, and you only get like 3 or 4 or 5 or 7 sometimes, and you get it, and it's just a lot more difficult to get. So breaking this down, if we want to do the brand new infused health potions, which means we're going to need the infused alkist, breaking that down, and then breaking down the infused health potion, which again, a medical regent, an earth regent, and spirit regent, is going to net you the 1648 Arcana on top of the 240 Arcana you get from the 10 Hyssop, 1 water, and 1 Azoth water. If we break that down with the infused health potions, you're going to need to make 2,776, which basically melts down to XP wise 4,574,848 XP. Breaking that down, you're going to need 27,760 Hyssop. Again, put in a buy order for a ton of them. People will fill it eventually. Then you could pay less for it. Same thing as I told you with the Azoth water. Then you're going to need 2,776 water, 2,776 Azoth water, 2,776 medical reagents, 2,776 earth reagents, and 2,776 spirit regions. All of that done will get you from level 150 to this beautiful level of 200. So I hope this Arcana guide was a little bit better, a little bit more up to date. Last time I released it was before you even had to make the Alkais thing. So hopefully this clears up the confusion you guys had and the new updated from 1.1.1. Make sure you comment down below. Let me know if you have any other questions. I love to answer the questions. I love that you guys come to me and want information. And if I can't fully provide that information, comment it down below. Don't just say, hey, you're wrong, or hey, that's stupid. Comment down below, be like, hey, I don't think it's the best thing because this only involves this is only this. Comment that stuff down below. I like to know it, because there are other things you can do, and some people think that, hey, getting that much high sop is really hard. I can get iron so much easier, so you can go the iron route instead of the high sop route. So comment that stuff down below. I love the constructive criticism. If you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Also, feel free to hit that red subscribe button as we climb to 1,500 subscribers. This year, we've gained almost 500 subscribers, so it's been an amazing journey, almost the end of the year, and I'm excited to keep making New World content going into the new year. Till next time, Slacker out.